Being able to come to this school, whether it be for a football game, basketball game with my family, my wife and kids, and be able to say, hey, I helped build that. I kind of was able to leave that footprint in my career is pretty awesome.
From Purdue University in West Lafayette, Indiana, this is Techies Today, the Purdue Polytechnic podcast. I'm John O. The Engineering and Polytechnic Gateway Complex is a new facility that is under construction now by Conoy Hall of Technology on the former site of Michael Golden Labs, which was known as MGL, and the old Nuclear Engineering Building. Anyone who ever walked through the century-old MGL building can understand the need for a state-of-the-art facility like the Gateway Complex. At $140 million, including a $40 million grant from Lilly Foundation, it is Purdue's largest ever investment in an academic facility. James Letsinger is a 2013 graduate of our Construction Management Technology program. He's a project manager for Shiel Sexton, a construction company based in Indianapolis. James has been working on campus the past couple of years, in charge of the Gateway Complex project for Shiel Sexton. I spoke with James to learn what he does every day at the construction site and what it means to him to advance from being a construction management technology graduate to building the school's future home. Here's James Letsinger.
As a project manager at Shiel Sexton, my job is to plan, oversee, and then manage the entire construction progress from start to finish.
So what is your specific role here at our Gateway Complex? I'm curious about what you do day to day. Do you have a typical day?
My role on the Purdue Gateway project is I'm the day-to-day project manager, so I'm responsible for communication for the owner's needs, the architect, engineer, and subcontractors. I'm responsible for coordinating the efforts between them. From day to day, it typically depends on what phase the project is in, but regardless, my responsibility is to support our field staff with safety, quality, problem solving for critical issues, and then just coordination between critical scopes of work throughout the project.
So James, when you're assigned to a specific construction project, and especially a large project like this one that takes a couple of years to get done, how does your day-to-day work evolve throughout the course of the project?
It kind of depends on the phase of the project. So at the beginning of the project, you're very busy with planning the project, bidding the project out, buying the scope of work out for the project. Towards the end, you're trying to do the finishes for the last critical scopes of work. You're closing out all your subcontracts, and then you're doing your final billing. So both of those areas of construction is super busy for the project manager. Everything else in between is pretty steady. You have your roles and responsibilities, and you're constantly supporting our field staff out here.
So you graduated from Purdue Polytechnic's Construction Management Technology program back in 2013.
Yeah.
So you've had almost a decade in industry since you were here. So now that you've been in industry for a number of years, how do you feel that your construction management degree made you ready for the first couple of years of your career?
Yeah, so I think the Purdue Construction Management Technology program really gives you that solid foundation before you start your career. You have your classrooms that you get a lot of broad knowledge of general construction. You have your lab courses where, of course, you get your hands-on experience. And then what I really love about Purdue is they require you to do internship hours. So you get outside in the summers, you gain that real world knowledge, and then once you graduate, you get to apply all those to your jobs.
So in what ways did that experience that you got, in what ways do you feel that they remain relevant to your career and your job today?
I think the weight that the Purdue degree and the Purdue program carries in our industry. So of course, in the Midwest, Purdue's known for having a top-notch construction program. So I think that's really important, especially when you're pursuing jobs out here in the construction career. That sets you apart from a lot of other maybe applicants in where they got their education from other colleges.
You feel it really helps to make you ready to be a leader?
Yeah. There's a lot of, I think a lot of the leadership qualities you can obviously continue to grow on through personal growth and maybe continuous learning, but Purdue does give you a good foundation in your classroom to really achieve that.
So you might say then that our construction management technology program when students graduate, they're ready to become general leaders in the construction management industry. How would you say that your job at Shield Sexton has helped you surpass that, become not just a general leader, but a specialized leader?
Yeah, so Shield Sexton is one of the largest construction companies in Indiana. So I think that's what really sets them apart from some of the other competitors. So I get awesome opportunities to work on large, complex projects. Throughout my 9 years of experience, outside of one project, all my projects have been 25 million and more. Just the knowledge and the experience, the opportunity that Shield Sexton gives me to be on these projects and learn and grow as a professional, it's really invaluable.
What's your favorite thing, James, about working at a very large construction project like this one?
Yeah, so I think there's a couple things that I enjoy on a large project like this. One is the challenge, right? So you're on a large construction project, so obviously you have a lot of obstacles. You've never done it before. You have good leadership around you, but the challenge of completing this size of a project really gets me excited. And then just the people. So we have a large staff on this project. So we have 9 full-time management out here, and so I get to work with a lot of great builders. The tradespeople that we have on this project, you have several of these guys with just knowledge and wealth of experience. And so being on a large project like this, you're just exposed to a lot of that, and that's what I really enjoy.
Thinking back to when you were a kid or when you were in high school, what did you really like to do back then? What were some of your hobbies and interests that perhaps led you to your interest in construction management and a career in this industry?
Yeah, so growing up as a boy, you have all those, you're doing your working with your dad on certain projects around the house, or you're building something with him. And then and another outside influence that I had was my uncle. He was in the construction industry, and so I was really close with my cousins. And so there was 2 specific cousins that were around my age. And so once I got to the high school age, I was invited to work on one of their construction projects with them. And so just getting the opportunity to do that kind of helped spark my interest in pursuing a career in construction.
And what led you specifically to choose the program here at Purdue?
When I started looking into, because I didn't decide that I was going to do construction until my junior year of high school. So once I started looking at all the different colleges in Indiana that offered that program, Purdue really stood out because they were very well known. They were the best construction program in Indiana. And so that kind of helped solidify my decision on choosing Purdue over some of the other colleges.
Sure. What advice would you share with high school students who are considering coming to Purdue, considering preparing for a career in this industry?
Yeah, so I would definitely meet with your counselor in high school and make sure that you're taking the proper courses and you have the proper GPA before you apply to Purdue. But then outside of that, if you're looking at other choices, I would choose Purdue over that just for the opportunity. Purdue has a great program. It's a top-notch program. The actual career fair that you have here, the recruiting from Purdue, is above all other colleges for the construction program in Indiana. I would just really encourage them to look into the Purdue program, and I know it's really helped me in my career and job placement and knowledge that I was able to get from coming here to Purdue.
What advice would you have for students who are currently in our construction management technology program as they inch closer and closer to graduation and starting their careers?
Yeah, I would say for sure for some of the college kids as they enter their career, there's several things that I wish someone would have told me when I was younger starting out in my career. I think it's important when you take that next step is that you get a mentor. So that could be someone inside of the company that you're hired on. I would suggest getting a mentor in a role that you eventually want to become. The knowledge and advice that you can get from those people throughout your career can really help propel you. I think you also should be setting professional goals. I think that's important. So if your goal is to be a project manager, what does it take to become a project manager? What timeline do you want to achieve that goal? And then that can kind of help establish what things that you need to work on or grow on personally or in leadership. So I'd highly recommend reading some leadership books. I think that's important. I would be listening to a podcast inside of the construction industry. I highly recommend Elevating Construction by Jason Schroeder. It's great content on there, great experts. And then also I would be touring projects specifically inside of your company. So as you graduate, you'll get placed on a project maybe 6 months, maybe it's a year, maybe even 2 years, and that's all that you're exposed to in that timeline is being on that project and working with that team. Your company may be doing a $100 million job 30 minutes away, so I would highly recommend setting time away and touring that other project, getting a different perspective, seeing how they are doing things on their project that may get you knowledge or experience that you're not getting on your specific construction project. And I think if you do all those things, mentor, continuous learning, touring projects, doing those things, it'll really help propel your career and will help you obtain those promotions or that goal that you're setting for yourself a lot quicker.
And related to that, internships and hundreds of hours of real-world experience are required of our students in the program today.
Yeah.
Why are those things important to participate in while you're a college student?
It's definitely important because you're spending a lot of time in the classroom, you're spending time in your lab, so I think it's important that you go out and you get that real-world experience where you're applying that to your everyday job that you're going to be having once you graduate. And so I think it's really important to put that knowledge to practice. And then there's just some things that you gain from getting that real-world experience that you're not necessarily getting from the classroom. So,
now speaking of the classroom, you're familiar with what we have in Conoy for construction management technology students. We have the big crane in the lab in the basement, and we're going to keep that, but we're getting bigger, larger, better facilities here in the new Gateway Complex building.
Yeah.
Could you just tell us about some of the new lab facilities that are coming for construction management technology students and what it might have meant to you more than a decade ago, having access to facilities like that as an undergraduate?
Yeah, so I'm extremely jealous of what the construction program is about to get here in the Gateway project, specifically the construction lab. So it's just such a huge upgrade in facilities from Conoy. And if you look at the construction lab, I mean, the amount of square footage that you have in this room compared to what you have in Conoy is going to make the lab experience so much better for the students. You're going to be able to, leave your structural steel up longer. Some of your wood structures that you're building, you're going to be able to leave those up longer. You have such more efficient space inside of the lab, so storage space. The dock access is going to be directly into the project. The crane that is in the new facility here in Gateway has a full range of motion for the entire lab, and so just being able to utilize that more efficiently is going to be a great opportunity for both the faculty and for the students.
And you're playing a key role in helping to build these new facilities that are going to have a direct impact on generations and generations to come of construction management technology students. Having that role, what does it mean to you personally?
It's very exciting. So one of the cool things about being in construction, right, is years from now you can drive by a project and say, wow, I was a part of that project. You have a lot of pride in it. And so I think looking back on this project is going to just mean just a little bit more. It has the program that I graduated in from the university, and so being able to come to this school, whether it be for a football game, basketball game with my family, my wife and kids, and be able to say, hey, I helped build that, and it was a part of the construction industry, and I kind of was able to leave that footprint in my career is pretty awesome.
James Letsinger, project manager for Shield Sexton Company, and a 2013 graduate from Construction Management Technology here in Purdue Polytechnic. The Engineering and Polytechnic Gateway Complex is actually two connected buildings that will be known as Dudley Hall and Lambertus Hall. The complex will provide a total of 255,000 gross square feet, primarily for instructional labs, design studios, collaborative spaces, and offices for faculty and staff. Site preparation began back in fall 2019, and the Gateway Complex opens to students in January 2023. You can see video walkthroughs of most of the new labs for Purdue Polytechnic's School of Construction Management Technology and School of Engineering Technology, renderings of what the building will look like, news articles, and over 200 construction photos, all by going online to polytechnic.purdue.edu/techies today and look for the hot links under episode 15. A footnote to share with you: The chairman and CEO of Shiel Sexton Company is Mike Diltz, and he graduated from our Construction Management Technology program back in 1981. You can see a video interview with Mike in the episode 15 hot links as well. Techies Today is produced at Purdue University in Purdue Polytechnic's Office of Marketing Communications. Check us out on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok at Tech Purdue. The podcast is on Twitter and Instagram at Techies Today. We welcome your email. Send it to techiestoday@purdue.edu. Our executive producer is Melissa Templeton. I'm John O, and I produce, edit, and mix the podcast. Thanks for listening. That's what's happening for Techies Today.